Hey first grade, ready for your art lesson with your friendly neighborhood art teacher? As a reminder, your expedition this year was the amazing bodies of birds. Your guiding questions: how do birds use their body parts to survive? How can we make the Amana Living Garden more bird friendly? And how can our writing help our community learn about birds? Today, you're going to be working on drawing a blue jay and a brown thrasher. So your learning targets are: I can observe basic shapes in nature to help with my drawing. I can use basic shapes to draw a blue jay and a brown thrasher. And I can add details to my drawings to make them look more realistic. Before we begin, you will need paper, and you can just use one paper for both birds. Lined paper or printing paper is fine. You'll need a pencil and eraser, and you'll need something to color with. It can be crayons, colored pencils, or markers. I'm not going to be picky. Remember, you're going to be drawing big, but you are going to need to use up about half your page for each bird. The first bird I want to show you is called the brown thrasher. This is Georgia's state bird. This bird is fairly common a little bit farther out from Atlanta you go. It's, well, brown. It uses that so it can blend in more with the trees and the bushes that it hides in and lives in. The other bird we're going to work on is the blue jay. Blue jays live a little bit more where it's colder because they can blend in better with ice. Oops, too far. So, these are the birds you're going to be drawing, and this is the kind of artwork we're going to be working with. When I tell you that I want you to work on one page, I mean it. You can draw on one page. You can draw one up here and one down here at the bottom. If you want to draw one on the front and then turn your page over and work on one on the back, that's also fine. It's all cool by me. I chose to do these two birds at the same time because they're both kind of small and they're both kind of similar when we're starting to look for the shapes that we're going to be using. So we're going to work on the brown thrasher first. I'm going to draw him up at the top. First thing we're going to draw is we're going to work on the large oval for his body. We're going to do a circle for a head. Not a huge circle, but not a tiny circle either. Brown thrashers have their beak comes out a little bit longer. So I've drawn a triangle that's a little long at the top. Next, we're going to work on the wing. The wing is going to start as part of the body, a little bit of oval there. We'll have a very skinny rectangle coming off of the side. And then we're going to work on his feet, which are going to be kind of like a little bit of a L shape. If you look at it that way, you'll see there's an L. There's another one behind him. So that's one leg and one leg. And then we'll do triangles for his feet. So that's just our basic brown thrasher. Now we're going to look at it and we're going to add in some of the details. You can see he's facing the right direction. You can see that there's basic. Then we're going to start working on details. So next, I'm going to add the eye, because we want our birds to see things. I'm going to add a neck. We're going to add a little bit of a triangle to the tip of that wing. And let's draw the branch that our brown thrasher is sitting on. Now we're going to get rid of some of these parts. So we don't need to see all of that circle anymore. And now it looks like our bird's head is attached to their body. I'm going to I'm going to fix this up back here because it was a little sloppy in some spots. So I'm going to fix that and, oops, and just went right back to doing it. Erase it again. Come back up. There we go. Fix that oval. Then I'm going to add, since I wouldn't see these little spots behind his wing, so I'm going to erase it, but I want to make sure that I still keep that wing with a little bit of a diamond or point at the end. And I want to erase, make sure I can see the tail is underneath that wing. And then let's work on his feet down here. He's going to have, this is going to be the size of one toe. This little part of the triangle is actually going to be the back part. I'm going to draw one toe, two toes. They're tiny little toes. I want to do the same thing for this part. I can't, that wouldn't be part of it, so I'm going to draw one toe, two toes, and you can draw one little toe, and then erase some of those little spots. Now, oh, one more detail, forgot. Got this little break. Now when we're looking, we've drawn the details, or we've fixed them up. Now we just need to add in some details and then work on coloring him. Brown thrashers have these kind of dark and light colored stripes right around the middle of their wing. So I'm going to draw one. It's going to be like a crescent shape. And two, and that can be a white one. And then I'll draw one crescent line, two crescent lines, and that can be the other white part. They have these little brown dots all over their stomachs to help them camouflage better. So I'm going to add these little brown dots. I'm trying to go over his chest. He's got long tail feathers, so I'll add a little bit of a line to show some tail feathers back there. We can add a couple of lines to show the ends of feathers. And they've got one part of their skull, or that their neck, where their color changes a little bit. Alright, so we've drawn our brown thrasher. The next part will be to color them, but we'll work on that in a moment. So the next guy we're going to draw is our blue jay. Now, the brown thrasher is facing that way. Blue jay is going to be standing up a little bit. So when I start to draw his oval, I'm going to draw it up and down a little bit more. I'm going to add the circle for the head. They've got a much more pointy triangle beak than the brown thrasher. I'm going to add that oval once again for the wing. And their tails are not as long as the brown thrashers. And he's got some little feet coming off the bottom. So I want to do one little leg, and then I'm going to make these look like a crescent. Same thing for this part. And that's just the basic shape for a blue jay. Let's add in some of these details. The neck. Blue jays have, I don't know what else to call it, these little mohawks up on top, so I'm going to add a little bit of a mohawk. I'm going to add the eyes. And that's about, oh, we're going to make his wing a little bit more pointy at the bottom, like I did with the brown thrasher. Now we can work on adding the branch that he's standing on. You see how I'm making sure that line goes behind things, comes back through, because his tail is overlapping. Now we can work on erasing some of these extra lines. That won't be up there. Won't see all of his neck anymore. I'll come down here and fix these parts of the wing that we wouldn't see, and his tail feather. I'll fix that extra line. Oops, hit my camera. And now we've got our blue jay to about the same size. We just same shapes and such. Now we need to add a little bit more of the details. He's got a lot of black in him, so we're going to add dark. You can color it in with a pencil if you need to. If you want to do it with color pencil or something else that works. And then his eyes are also black. And then we've got this, it's kind of like he has a mask that goes over his nose and goes to the back of his head. And this little curve that comes down next to where his cheeks are. And it connects down to his chest. And like the brown thrasher, they've got this one part of their wing that has a crescent. But his is white and it's going to be black underneath. And his feet are actually gray. So I'm going to just go ahead and color in his feet. And he's got these little stripes going across. So I'm going to draw some details. But then I'm going to draw a band of black going across, another band or line going across, and one more. And I'm going to go ahead and make that black line that goes underneath. So, if you have crayons or color pencils and you want to use those instead for your black, you can. I just used my crayon, or my pencil. So now that we've gotten this part done, next thing to work on is the coloring. For the brown thrasher, you'll probably need 2 browns. You can use a really light brown. If you don't have a really light brown, just use your same brown, but press down really hard when you color with the regular brown. Come on. Is that my brown? That's mahogany. And then, what's that brown? Sure looks like brown. It is brown. And then for the blue jay, that's, yeah, it's not too bad. And where's my, oh, there we go. Use these. So, I'm going to have a brown and a light brown. So, not all of the brown thrasher is dark brown. The top of his head is a pretty light brown. Actually, his beak's kind of a light brown too. Then the parts of his wing are light brown, but the parts near the white spots are the darker browns. So I'm going to come in with my dark brown crayon color pencil and fix that. And this part right here is a little bit darker. And the dots on his stomach are pretty dark too. Let's talk about the blue jay. So blue jays have some light blue. It's usually at the top. And there's a little bit kind of right here on the chest, but a lot of it is this nice dark blue. Kind of goes from light to dark. And they have their part where they have their little black and white stripe. I hope you're taking your time and coloring a lot better than I am. I'm doing this fast, so we don't have to sit here and watch me color the whole thing. So, you should have your 2 birds drawn. You should be working on coloring them pretty soon. So, a reminder. There's a pretty good picture of the blue jay. Here's another good pictures of the brown thrasher. Your tasks to draw a brown thrasher and to draw a blue jay. You can draw them on the same page. If you need a time extension, go back to the first lesson, find the bird with the wings out, and you can draw another and make it look like a blue jay or a brown thrasher that is flying. Keep track of your artwork if you can. It would be really great to have everybody bring their artwork in when we come back. If you have any questions, you can email me at afrans@amanaacademy.org, and you can submit your pictures of your artwork to the Google folder listed on that link, as well as a link underneath the video. Alright, first grade, I'll see you later.